stringent regulation of Saudi authorities in terms of hygiene and quality of food. With a dedicated staff, they have over the years provided service to pilgrims across the globe with a unique experience in international cuisine. The delegation was treated to a buffet of Gambian food, such as domoda, plazas, etc., as a show of remarkable talent in cooking to the satisfaction of Gambian pilgrims, especially with the close assistance and guidance of the 3 Gambian cooks to be assigned to them. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the National Assembly's delegation was satisfied with the overall level of preparedness for the 2025 Hajj season. The hotels inspected in both Medina and Mecca met the required standard for hygiene, comfort, and accessibility. The trip reaffirmed the value of parliamentary oversight in ensuring the welfare of Gambian pilgrims. The success of this inspection further reinforces the importance of a cross-section collaboration involving the Hajj Commission, council staff, the service provider on accommodation and transport and catering. With the implementation of the following recommendation, Honorable Speaker, the delegation come up with a recommendation. Recommendation 1, the National Hajj Commission is urged to strengthen coordination with both the hotel management team and the Gambian Consulate in Jeddah to ensure smooth delivery of service during Hajj. 2, further inspection missions should formally include representatives from the Gambian Consulate in Jeddah, given their strategic importance in managing on the ground challenges. 3, there should be ongoing monitoring of food quality, transport, logistics, accommodation, service throughout the Hajj to address emerging challenges. 4, a structured feedback mechanism should be established to allow pilgrims to report their concerns, thereby enhancing service delivery and accountability. 5, there should be a strong collaboration between the National Hajj Commission and the Hajj operators to collectively work together to achieve a successful Hajj for Gambian pilgrims. 6, the Ministry of Regional Government, Lands and Religious Affairs through the National Hajj Commission should ensure that Hajj operators make early payment to be able to acquire closer location of stay at the Jamra in Mina. 7, the National Hajj Commission should organize capacity building training and orientation for Hajj operators and their guides on an annual basis for them to understand the emerging set of rules laid by the Saudi government. 8, the Ministry of Regional Government, Land and Religious Affairs should increase the subvention of the National Hajj Commission to ensure an effective and efficient operation of Hajj, as it is an annual activity for Gambians. 9, an honest preparation should be done for would-be Gambian cooks to arrive on time to closely collaborate with the Saudi catering service provider in coordinating the Gambian diet preparation. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, I move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Bundunga Kunda and Chairperson of the committee. Any seconder honorable members? Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion and equally want to take my contribution. Honorable Speaker, I want to seize this opportunity to thank the chairperson and the entire delegations that embark on this important journey, which really paid dividend, especially in the 2025 Hajj season for the Gambia. It is extremely important, and it also highlighted the oversight component that we are seriously look at it. More especially when you come to the private operators that they look at that were responsible for the arrangement of flights for their pilgrims and secure hotels, provide catering services and arrangement of transportations, and these are equally very important. One thing I don't see in the report, the quota allocation to the 15 private operators and that of the GIA. How much in terms of percentage was given to GIA and each of these private operators? Because it's important for us to know. Honorable Speaker, the 15 private operators, I'm a little bit worried. How are these private operators regulated? One, do they meet all the requirements to be able to actually take part in these operations? Because these are things that are very, very important, especially when it comes to the quota that is allocated. I think GIA are in the position to have a specific price for the pilgrims in the country. Sometimes when you come to the 15 private operators, there are disparity in terms of pricing. And when you come to the overall, they have to highly depend on the GIA for the flights, the provision of flight to take them to Mecca. But one thing that is important, I think that need to be, well, that should be very much coordinated as, when you come to the issue of the price, not to put pressure on the government in the other hand. And one thing I also want to observe, GIA is a state-owned enterprise that is doing the business for the government. I want to believe that they need to have a substantial chunk of quota allocation, because this is their primary area of making liquidity, especially when you come to the issue of dividend payment. But if this is divided into 15 private operators that may not even be very much okay to take part in this process, is also going to be a problem. And I think GIA as a state-owned enterprises should be our primary responsibility to protect them and give them the opportunity to embark on this particular journey in order to help them get their required revenue in terms of liquidity position in order to pay dividend and also increase their staff component, because this is the only area where they are benefiting, and the ground handling. And if you come to the ground handling, you will understand that a private company was brought in. So I definitely want to believe that we need to regulate and make sure that we trim down these 15 operations. Some of them can be suitcase operators. On that note, I really thank the entire team, and I'm very much happy for you to do this thing. And it should be an annual basis so that the ground can be better prepared for the pilgrims that are coming. On that note, I beg to sit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Brikama South. Honorable members, I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, Ombudsman, and IEC on the inspection mission to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to assess the state of preparedness for the 2025 Hajj fishing. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member can now take part in the debate. I have a list. I now call on the honorable member for Chani Mentoring.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And first, Honorable Speaker, I'll have to thank the delegation who were assigned to go to Saudi and perform this exercise in trying to find out the possible ways that our pilgrims or the Gambians performing their Hajj in Mecca. And of course, I'll have to thank the committee clerks, of course, who came out, assist the delegation for coming out with this comprehensive report. And, you know, having gone through the report, Honorable Speaker, there are a few observations that I have done, and which starts with the recommendations on number 2, if you may permit me to read, which further inspection missions should formally include representatives from Gambian consulate in Jeddah, given their strategic importance in making the ground challenges. Honorable Speaker, I just want to be clear of the ground challenges that the committee or the delegation have found out, because we need to be sure of the challenges that our pilgrims are having so that we can find possible ways to remedy that situation. And the second thing will be, Honorable Speaker, I learned the delegation had gone to perform their oversight. This was when our people have not gone to Mecca to perform their Hajj. Honorable Speaker, I will only recommend to the plenary or to the delegation or to the committee, if it will be, I think it will be more impact made when the delegation had gone during the time when our people are already there to perform the Hajj, so that they can also hear the first-hand information from the people who are performing Hajj. Because we are pretty sure that sometimes when we go, we do hear from our people that they face some challenges with regards to some people might get lost and they'll be there without seeing them for a number of days. So such things, and then also to hear exactly from the pilgrims, such challenges that they might be having, so that the committee or the delegation might come up with that recommendation to the pilgrim commission, so that we can try to see how best we can perform that oversight out to overcome the challenges as well, because it's very, very important to hear from them directly, not only the commission or not only the ministry, but it's also important. Thank you very much. On that note, I better take my seat.
Thank you, Honorable Member Posani Mentre. I now invite Honorable Nominated Member Fatou K. Jawara.
Commend the team that went to Saudi. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I would also like to join my colleagues to commend the team of local government select committee on. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I would also like to join my colleagues to commend the team of Local Government Select Committee on IEC Ombudsman for embarking on this important journey to go to Saudi to investigate or to go for a fact-finding mission and report back to the plenary, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we must commend the government of the day, because you may have your money. If the facilitation did not came from the government, you will not be able to go for Hajj. We will also thank the Amirul Hajj and the entire Hajj Commission for doing a tremendous job assisting the Hujjaj in Saudi. But I will also like to recommend, make few recommendations regarding the challenges that the pilgrims are facing in Saudi. Honorable Speaker, everything went successful. I was fortunate to be part of one of the pilgrims to go to Mecca, but we have a challenge, and that challenge needs to be addressed. I think the Hajj Commission needs to work on their Hajj guide. They should employ or select professional Hajj guides who are well-trained Islamic students, who are well-tolerant, who are well-patient to assist the pilgrims. Because some of these pilgrims are overage and they cannot do some of the things that they are supposed to do on their own. I'm not saying that they are not performing well, but there is a lapse and these things need to be addressed. Honorable Speaker, I think we should recommend each 10 pilgrims to go with one Hajj guide so that they can help educated in our Islamic knowledge. You cannot escort a pilgrim. Even the pilgrim who is performing the tawaf don't know what he or he is saying. The training that they are doing here is not enough. And I think when we are doing the training, they told us that when we went to Saudi, they will do more training there, but there is no training that was done there. So I think they should not be picking people who don't understand it. Sometimes you may see a guide who don't even know the area that you want to go. He or she may be roaming, telling you that let's go there, let's go there. And some pilgrims, they don't find it easy. They will just walk away and go. So I think we need to recommend this and work as a team for them to bring well-trained Islamic students who are very energetic, not those who cannot do it, to help the pilgrims. Because this is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. So when we are doing it, we should perform it well. We must also commend the counselor in Jeddah. They did a very good job. Mr. Fabu Sane and the team, they were with us throughout the day. You are right, committee members. We have transportation from the Haram from the hotel to the Haram. For me, I used to work on my own. But most elderly people, or even young ones, cannot do it. They used to join. But I think Gambians also, we need attitudinal change. There was a fight inside a bus, and they terminated the service. But everybody was shouting. And there was a rumor going around on social media that government cannot pay the transportation, so the service was terminated. But they are not telling the people the reality. So when we call the embassy, they help us, and somebody came and told me that this is the issue, this is the reason why they stopped the service of the transportation. And it's very unfair. So I'm calling on the National Hajj Commission. They did well, and they are still doing well. Let them help us. Apart from the Prophet, we are now listening to them because they are the most educated one in the area of Islam. Let them help us. When people are going for Hajj, they should enjoy the stay. I know Hajj is not easy. For the food, I will not talk about it. Because if you go out, not even Hajj, if you go out, you cannot expect to have what you have at your own home. You have to manage that so that you can have a successful Hajj. But for the pillars that we have to do and deliver it successful, we need well-trained guides. I'm appealing. Let's bring the well-trained guides to help, and those who are tolerant and patient. But not the pilgrim will be here and the guide will be there. Or 50 pilgrim will be here, one guide will be there. You will not be even hearing what they are saying. If you don't have the idea or you don't have somebody to guide you before you go, your Hajj might not be successful in the way that you want it. For instance, you want to go to the Uhud mountain. You don't even know what is the story of that place. What is the fight that arises between the Holy Prophet and the enemies? They need to explain it to you. So, Honorable Speaker, on that note, I don't want to waste the time of the plenary. I commend them. I commend the Honorable Minister for Local Government and Lands, because throughout our stay in Saudi, we've been in touch with them. Any problem, they will come and address it. The Consular General, the team, and the Amirul Hajj and the team, we need to commend them. They are doing a great job, but they need to improve their height guard. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Nominated Member Patuke Jawara. I now invite the Honorable Member for Puni Kansala.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the committee for this wonderful explanation to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Medina. Honorable Speaker, looking at the composition of the delegation, it's quite great, and I think the quorum has already been met. But I have one concern in the composition. We all know, as representative of the National Assembly, we have clerks of various committees. None of the clerks attended, so I wonder, maybe the committee were the one taking notes, developing their own report, and hopefully the report is presented to us in the plenary. So I suggest next time, at least they go with one of the clerk of the committee, so that concentration will be proper, and the clerk will now make the jotting, then the report will be generated. This is my humble suggestion for the delegates' composition. Honorable Speaker, right straight to the functions of the Hajj Commission, National Hajj Commission. It says its main functions is what? It coordinates all activities of the Hajj and also include regulations. That won't work if, for example, if you look at what they've said, the operators, private operators, is about 15. Out of that 15, excluding GIA. So issues that are at hand here is this. When quotas are assigned, the responsibility of each and every private operator is given to do its own arrangement. One of flight, their own arrangement. Also, securing hotels, providing caterings, and also arrangement of transportation, and also ensuring medical supply. Now, when you look at the downside, it says, in case of emergency, only one ambulance is responsible. So, for example, if the GIA team, where maybe the main ambulance is in this side, and from one hotel to another hotel is a distance. So if one ambulance is available, private operators are also far apart. Because in Mecca, when you pay earlier, you'll be very close to the haram. If you lately paid, you'll also, that's a syndrome. So if operators are also paid, and you realize that maybe GIA paid higher, yes? Yes, what I'm just trying to say is, if private operators under of GRA, they're not in cognizant to make sure they can have a bigger area where all of those private under of GRA will be hosted, it will be a challenge when one ambulance is only doing the routine. You could have a lot of series of emergencies, into various hotels. So I think the Hajj Commission should also look at this and see how they could also overcome this challenge. And also, the other thing that I also want to put across, as what it says, the issue of Hajj guides. Makkah al-Mukarramah, Madinatul Munawwara, is not an enjoyment place. You are to perform a pillar. And nowadays, most of these Hajj are in an easy silver plate. Imagine before. And Makkah, the sun is very, very hot, and Medina the same. So what I also want to applaud onto this is, it is us. For example, if my mother, my father, or I want to go on Hajj, I should be very prepared that I'm a Muslim. I should learn and practice what I need to do. Sometimes you go to Makkah to perform Hajj. It is the guy that will tell you what type of Hajj do you want to perform. It is not your making. You don't even know. You're from the Gambia. Leave the Gambia, go to Makkah. You don't even know what type of Hajj you also want to perform. So I think relatives, brothers, or cousins who are supporting should be able to put that core background that I want to go to Makkah, this is what I need to learn. In cognizance, it will also help the Hajj guides to do what they're supposed to. And the other thing also is, it's also very important. Each and every Hajj guide, you should know the purpose why you are called a Hajj guide. Most of the cases you go to Makkah, the Kaaba itself, you find a lot of Gambians, they don't even know what to do. When we went last year, we had to group them together with, I think, the current governor of URR. We went around and took them within all the process that they needed. When you ask them, say, when we tell our Hajj guide, they say, no, we cannot go this time, we cannot manage this. So I don't know whether it's the limitation of the Hajj guides, or, sometimes maybe they have times in which they will take their Hajj, the guides, pilgrimage to what they want to perform. So these are issues that I think the onus is, if you are a Hajj guide, 10, 15 people want to go to visit, you should be able to will. And now say, okay, let's go together, you guide them. If not, it will be a challenge. And finally, I will also concur with the committee in area of supervision. You cannot go to a home of an individual without involving the person who is in that home. In the recommendation that says, one, the National Hajj Commission urges strengthening to coordination of hotel management and team, and also including the consulate of Jeddah. It's very important. If they are not involved, they will also not participate. But if they involve them, they will also do the needful, because they know the area. They can be able to help you to do what you need to, what you don't need, what are the issues that are governing. And what she said is very quite right. For us, in our last year Hajj, in Saudi, any problem that you have within the bus, they will break the services. It happens in a country, in Somalia, we were together, our boss was in front of them, they nearly fought. we are in the same, how to call it, hotel. They were told that they will cancel their hotel service. So these are all issues that are also very important. Coordination, cooperation, and they also need to understand that this is a different venue. It's not as we are there to enjoy. You are there to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think also, we also commend the National Hajj Commission through its Amir. Last year, we had their performance overwhelmed. This year also, we had their performance. It's also very, very important. It's all about knowledge, coordination, cooperation, and best ways for us to see how they can help our governments. And finally, the committee is here, Honorable Speaker. Let them also help in subventing the National Hajj Commission. It will also help them, and they will make easy access to some of these issues that will also help them financially. On that note, I end my discussion here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Member for Funi Kansala. Honorable members, we know this is a debate that is timed. It's 1 hour. I have a list, and I want every member on the list to participate. So when members make their contribution, you make a summary. Sometimes it's so repetitive. Know that somebody else is coming, and we want all those who want to talk or want to debate on it to take the floor. Please, Honorable Member for Nyaniga.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And I equally want to join my colleagues to thank the delegation for actually going to represent us and then doing the needful. This is the first of its kind, and I want to commend both the National Assembly and, of course, the Ministry of Religious Affairs and the Hajj Commission. I think in anything that we do, as far as oversight is concerned, the National Assembly is the apex body, and then wherever we are involved, the interests of the people should be put first, because that's what we are for. So on that note, I want to thank the delegation, and then going through the recommendations that they have highlighted, I just hope that they do the necessary follow-up with the line ministry and, of course, the Hajj Commission for the swift implementation of these recommendations, because many a times even the Hajj is in place and people are there. We do hear some small complaints regarding food, regarding accommodation, regarding transportation, and of course regarding the Hajj guides. I think we learn from that, and then I respect and honor the National Assembly Select Committee for putting themselves into this, because it is our mandate, it is our duty to make sure that wherever our citizens are sent, we put an eye to that and see whether they are welfare, and of course the purpose they are there for, whether it is fulfilled. Because this is about religion, and of course anything about religion, we have to take it seriously and make sure that when people, public, put their monies or resources in fulfilling one pillar of the religion, it is definitely done in respect of that. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you and then urge the committee to follow up the recommendation with the line ministry to make sure they are implemented accordingly. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyaniga. And I invite the Honorable Member for Nyamina West.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I also join my colleagues to thank the Select Committee for a job well done and for presenting a very clear and straightforward report. Saying so, I also have to thank the Office of the Clerk for the support. My colleague did mention here the delegate, the composition of the delegation. I agree with him to make sure we take along a secretary along to help on the jottings so that a befitting report can be laid. And also looking on the composition on gender issues, if we can also have a female. I don't know whether we have female in the report. That's Sani Trend, take note, the gender issues. I also have to definitely thank the ministry, that is the minister. If you go to the introduction, second paragraph, the inspiration visit is in response to a formal request from the Minister of Lands, Local Government and Religious Affairs. I have to thank them for that boldness and for that support and for that cooperativeness with the assembly and the committee. This is what is expected of other ministers and other line ministry, to be supportive and to be open to the parliament and to the committees that are responsible of their line ministries for oversight functioning. But I have a question or a concern to ask for more clarity. If you look at the table 1 on the hotels, where you have number 1, number of rooms 130, then number of beds 550, and so on and so forth. I don't know, maybe it's congestion that warrants to that, but there I need more clarity on that. And follows suit. Then the last one you have Wards Arafat Hotel, you have 150 rooms, then you have 475 beds. I don't know, I need more clarity. Thank you. Speaker, I may beg to take my leave. That was my submission.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyami. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, members of the committee. Thank all of you. Madam Speaker, I just want to have a look at the issue of hearing the among private sectors alongside hearing. Hearing is one of the public Gambia on behalf of the Gambia government. Generate revenue for Gambia government. Employ Gambian citizens. Pay tax to the Gambia government. Despite the fact that we have a liberal economy that allows private investment to be done. But there are countries that are more advanced than the Gambia as an economy. But the jealousy is that they have public institutions. There are some areas in their country, they have a public monopoly, particularly when it comes to aviation industry. Aviation, these are national assets that we must protect. CIA is investing on behalf of the government of the Gambia. If they are inviting private operators to come in, but let's say 75% if CIA have the capacity in terms of medical service, in terms of ground handling, and all other matters that relate to Hajj, if CIA can handle any amount of percentage of things that is given to CIA to protect this for the Gambia. If we don't mind giving these things, ground handling has been given to a private institution in the name of liberalizing liberal economy. And again, we are sharing Hajj capital among private operators. And public institutions, we must be careful. When we do not have funds to buy tickets, the only institution will be rushed to give us loans on tickets to CIA. Public institutions, we rush to CIA to give us loans, tickets and loans, and we will pay. But when we have a whole package, money is ready-made, we share it among CIA, among other private institutions. These are public institutions, it belongs to them. If they have revenue, it goes to our government. They come here, they sit before public enterprises committee, we scrutinize them, how they spend this money, and any other thing. They come before this. And no private sector come here. So let's protect these things. So our recommendation as a committee, is that the public enterprise committee to share it among other private sectors, but huge, quotas can go to GIA. At least 75% or 50 and above percent they can go to GIA. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kiang West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Tabasanya.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also wish to thank the committee chair and the members of the committee for reporting back the Parliament as far as the issue of Hajj is concerned. Just few observations. Probably myself and my honorable colleague, Kemo Gassama, would also want to table a report as far as our observations are concerned with regard to the report that is tabled before the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, yes, you want to say something?
No, I don't understand what you just said.
They are reporting their observations as far as their trip to Mecca is concerned, which was the preparedness of the upcoming Hajj season. Now, we went to Mecca, myself and Kemo, through the same arrangements, and we will also want to table a report based on what they have reported, so that the members will be able to compare and contrast it, to come up with resolutions that will be able to guide Hajj operations. Honorable Speaker, if you look at in their observations in Medina, the observation number 2 is saying that the involvement of Gambian chefs was applauded by the delegation. So what the delegation is trying to tell us here is that they were expecting that at least there will be Gambian chefs who will join the pilgrims in Mecca so that they will be able to eat what we used to eat in the Gambia. This was actually the promise that they were given. But when we went there, Honorable Speaker, as far as catering services is concerned, it was a different thing. We've consulted the Hajj Commission and they've made us understood that the visas for the chefs that were meant to join the pilgrims came late, and as a result, they weren't able to be there on time. Secondly, the arrangement that they reported when they came to the committee was that the chef will be allowed to take along our Gambian food along so that it will help, to serve the pilgrims with a better food that they are used to. But actually that did not happen. So these are some of the observations that we will also want to observe, but also to thank the committee. Also about the hotels, there were some issues. I just want the committee, maybe, if they are coming up with a recommendation after this report is to be adopted, before the report is to be adopted, to also put those things into consideration. The hotel was a bit hilly. It was very difficult and challenging for our old pilgrims to climb up, coming from the haram, going back to the hotel. The bus services as well the same. So maybe these are some of the observations. Maybe if you are coming up with a resolution after the report, before it is adopted, I would definitely want you to put those things into consideration. Otherwise, we can also take it, when we are tabling our report as far as the Hajj, the Hajj is concerned. But also the level of preparedness, I was expecting that maybe the committee will also at least come up with something that has to do with the level of preparedness on the ground before going to Mecca. Because there are also certain challenges that are faced by the Hajj Commission, which I will also want probably the committee to set more light on if there is something that can be done
so that it will ease their work in the Gambia before getting to the Hajj in proper. These are some of the observations that I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal. Honorable members, may I now call upon the mover to respond to the issues raised and the line of the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, once again, for the opportunity. First of all, I will start with, I want to thank all the members who participated in the debate and those who sit to listen. And equally, I will start with Rikama South. We thank the committee and, for the trip. And he also talked about the quota allocation, which is definitely, yes, I think GIA being the national carrier, at least there should be a way to at least give them more quota. But equally also, we have these private operators, which I think they are already been licensed for them to operate. But nevertheless, I think the ministry, they are also working on some of the policies to see how best they can address this thing. Because for GIA to have more quota, is more beneficial to the state. So that is noted. And yeah, that is all here towards prioritizing the quota for GIA being the national carrier. To the honorable member for Sane Mentoring, he challenge, okay, she talked about some of the challenges, the role of the consulate. The consulate office, they are, the reason why they are in Jeddah, most of the countries, they have their Islamic countries, especially Muslim countries, they have their embassies in Riyadh. Some, they have consulate office in Jeddah, so that at least they have it there so that they can coordinate most of these Hajj activities. And most of the time, these offices are always busy during the Hajj period. So at the same time, their role is very important because there are certain emergencies when it happens, it's the consulate office that can at least facilitate communication and to facilitate certain issues. So this is why for them to be part of this thing is important. But as I'm speaking to you, this issue has been addressed, and now whenever there is an inspection by the Hajj Commission, the consulate office is always present to ensure that at least they work together. Because we cannot, they shouldn't go there without the consent of the consulate, So for that being the case, to the nominated member, Fatumata K. Jawara, thank the government for, thank the government for making the Hajj possible, and also thank the Amirul Hajj and his commission members for the wonderful, job you've been doing, and the ministry. And she talked about the Hajj. Normally the regulations of through the regulations of Saudi, 50 pilgrims should have one guide. So that's the regulation in Saudi. Unless Saudi government change that, this is why some countries, they will take along some security personnel so that they will perform pilgrimage, but at the same time they will be there to at least secure and also guide. But these are people who are knowledgeable in terms of Islam and they know the principle. But I know the guide issue is very important. This is why it's part of the recommendation that they should train them, and when they go, they should ensure that they do the work because they are purposely to guide the pilgrims. So, but if pilgrims are there and if they need you to guide them, you are not available, that definitely will defeat the purpose. And normally, as we know, people are paying a lot of money because right now this Hajj package is very expensive. So this is why,
Honorable, you will try to make a summary.
We have requested that at least 2 members from the committee should go. But this is the responsibility of the Assembly, Parliament, to ensure that if there is any delegation going, they should include clerks there, not to allow members to go. So that one, I think the office of the clerk and the speaker can, take care of that for all committees, not only this committee, but for all other committees. And also the issue of the ambulance. As I'm speaking to you, there is a new ambulance that was given during the 2024 Hajj. So in addition to the old one that is there, So this is why, in fact, it's important that this 2025 Hajj, all the Gambian pilgrims were, housed in one hotel so that they can coordinate in terms of any emergencies. And also he talked about the subvention, which is part of the recommendation. So that is also noted. Honorable Member Ponyanija thanked the committee and also recommend that we should implement the recommendation. To the member for Nyamina West, also, thank the ministry for facilitating. It's all geared towards collaboration with the committee. And also clarify the beds. Normally, when the number of rooms is 130, if you see that, meaning that 130 is the room. But each room, there are certain rooms, they have 2 bed or 3 bed or 4 bed. So this is depending on the size of the room. So because in Mecca, they don't have single bed unless if you are on the VIP category. So but like this normal hotel, you have 2, 3, 4 beds, up to 5 sometimes, depending on the size. So that's the difference there. For the honorable member for Chiang West, yes, also talk about the issue of quota sharing with GIA. I think this is very important. At least we need to empower them. But thank God this 2025, in fact, they take care of the flight and other things. So because right now, the way it is, if private operators take their own quota, at the end of the day, the Hajj Commission take care of all the necessary logistical arrangements, the flight, the catering, the transport, and stuff like that. But the bulk of the quota should be allocated to the GIA as a national carrier. So for Honorable Member for Sabah Sanjal, yes, thank you very much for that. Yes, because for the cooks, that was the promise made, but I even understand that because I was in contact with the Hajj Commission when they were there. The 3 Indian cooks that's supposed to go, they had a paper issue, so they couldn't get their visas on time. This is why they were late. So this is why part of the recommendation we indicate that at least they should be there in early, so that at least they can do the needful. Because normally the Gambian cooks that will be going there, because in fact the kitchen that they do all this cooking, the cooking pots they are using, they need to show them. Because these are safe, you just need to go and show them the recipe that you want to. Then you can work with them so that they can give you the dish that you want. So that one also is noted, and the Hajj Commission and the ministry, they are working on that to ensure that this time around, they have our Gambian cooks, to lead on time so that they can collaborate with the collaborators. Because what happened in Saudi, there is a rule. These are all service providers. The flight, the cooking, the catering, because you must sign a contract with a service provider. So if you want to have your own cook, you will go, they will collaborate to do this. But you cannot just go and just do your thing, because the Saudi government now, they are doing everything possible in any service provider. They make money from it. So on that note, I want to use the opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to thank the office of the consulate office in Jeddah, through Honorable Ibn Nur, Honorable Fabu Sane, and Haji Tunkara, the protocol, and equally the Hajj Commission members, especially Imam Cham that we went with, and at the same time to our dedicated staff who has made this report possible for us. To Jiba, we want to thank her for everything, and the rest of the committee for taking their time during this session to validate this report. So on that note, I also want to thank the member for Sabah Sanjal for that initiative, inshallah. So on that note, we went for the inspection.
Honorable, time is out. Please summarize.
Yes,
please.
I will.
I've given you more than enough.
Yes. So because equally, the process of the inspection is just to go and inspect the state of preparedness. So this is why members of our committee also went. So it's important for them to also come up with what they observe. At least we can put it together, to have a very good regulation for our national Hajj. On that note, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. So I therefore, move.
Thank you very much. Let me thank all those who participated in the debate. I now put the question. Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, Ombudsman, and IEC on the inspection mission to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to assess the state of preparedness for the 2025 Hajj season. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Clerk, can we proceed?
Thank you. Laying of papers and records continues. Report of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly study tour to the Republic of Ghana from 16 to 29 July 2025 by the Honorable Chairperson of the committee.
Thank you very much. May I now invite the Chairperson of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee to lead their report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The report of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee study tour to the Republic of Ghana from July 16 to 29, 2025. The table of contents on acknowledgement. The committee extends its profound gratitude to Central Bank of the Gambia for its invaluable financial support and steadfast commitment to the principle of good governance. This gesture was more than financial assistance. It was a clear investment in strengthening the capacity of the National Assembly to discharge its constitutional mandate with diligence and integrity. The committee also wishes to express sincere appreciation to the National Assembly Service, whose administrative support ensures the smooth and successful execution of this study tour. Special recognition is further accorded to joint management consultants for their excellent organization of the program, as well as the distinguished resource persons, seasoned financial practitioners, governance experts,
Honorable Speaker,
leadership coaches from Ghana and beyond, whose practical insights greatly enrich.
Sorry, who is talking?
Honorable Jiba. Yes.
Is he Councillor?
Yes. I've realized that we don't have a quorum, and it's going. I said we don't have a quorum. We don't have a quorum. And we don't need a quorum. Okay, okay.
Quorum is only needed for us to start business. At this time, it can go up to about 15.
We don't have 15.
Oh, you don't have 15?
Yes.
Because this is not telling well of the institution at all. You cannot be elected by your people to come and do that particular job. You are always, all the time, you are outside the parliament. There are those who are continually seated in parliament. They can't do their functions because of others who do not want to be in. It's not fair. I think we have to find a way out so that the people who sent us here to know those who have been holding us as ransom. And at the table of this, you should also be noting some of these things on record. Members, you have seen members, you have your staff. Let them be noting these things down. As members move out and come in, you note it down. Let them note it down. Pardon? Yes?
Chair, I think most of the time, the reason why we face some of these challenges is that the attendance list, some will come sign the attendance list and then go. And that is not fair. I believe that we should be using another strategy, either to sign another attendance list before we leave. That would at least encourage others to stay, because it's not fair at all.
You know what we can do is to make use of our staff. They are here, we've got a quorum, members go in and out. That should be noted and should be recorded. That would help us in making determinations. As a member gets up and goes out, it's noted by them that member so left at 11:02. Anytime he comes back, it's noted he came back this time. It's noted and kept with them. And they'll be able to at least brief the management about what some of these things we are seeing. And we know what to put in place. It's not fair. Do we have the number now? Marco. Honorable members, you people who just came in, we've been waiting for you for over 4, 5, 10 minutes. We never had a number to continue, 15. Next time we will begin to put on records and shame those who are holding us at ransom. Honorable Minority and the chairperson of
Special recognition is further accorded to job and management consultants for their excellent administration of the program, as well as to the distinguished resource persons, teaching financial practitioners, governance experts, and leadership coaches from Ghana and beyond, whose practical insights greatly enrich the learning experience. Finally, the committee extends heartfelt thanks to all individuals and institutions, both in the Gambia and Ghana, who contributed in one way or another to the facilitation and overall success of this highly informative and transformative engagement. Signed, the committee chair, my humble self. On executive summary of proceedings and key insights, the Finance and Public Accounts Committee undertook a 2-week capacity building study tour to the Republic of Ghana from 16 to 29 July 2025. The program was conceived as a timely response to complex and evolving challenges of public financial management and increasing demand for Parliament to exercise robust, credible, and independent oversight of public resources. Generously supported by Central Bank of the Gambia, the study tour combined expert presentations, practical case studies, interactive and plenary discussions, and peer learning, providing members and staff with an advanced toolkit of knowledge and practical strategies. The tour reinforced central truth that is effective and fearless parliamentary oversight of the public finances is indispensable to good governance, national development, and protection of citizens' welfare. From this overreaching theme, several cross-cutting insights emerge. Key insights and lessons learned. 1. Reframing expenditure. A clear distinction must be maintained between development expenditure that builds long-term national assets and consumption expenditure that merely sustains operations. This differentiation is critical for assessing fiscal sustainability and ensuring that the national budget priorities transformative investment. On to committee structure and independence. A pivotal finding was the need to restructure FPAC into two committees. One, Finance Committee, hereby a member of the ruling party, to scrutinize pending proposals before implementation, and two, a Public Accounts Committee, PAC, hereby the opposition, to scrutinize audited government accounts after expenditure exposed. This reform, widely practiced in Commonwealth Parliament, will strengthen independence, reduce conflict of interest, and sharpen accountability. Three, strengthening enforcement and accountability. Oversight without enforcement is ineffective. The auditor understood the importance of establishing an independent office of the special prosecutor with powers to investigate and prosecute cases of financial malfeasance and arising from parliamentary and audit reports. Additionally, accounting officers of ministries and departments to be made directly responsible for their institutions' financial statements. Public investment appraisal and budgeting. 4. The committee learned that credible national budget must drive from long-term, consensus-based national development plan, sailed from political cycle. Major public projects must undergo rigorous economic and financial evaluation, applying tools such as net present value, NPV, and return on investment. To institutionalize this, a project appraisal unit should be established at the Ministry of Finance. 5, risk management and internal controls. The modern governance environment requires systematic risk identification and management lessons from Ghana, highlighted the importance of mandating risk registers, strengthening internal audit units, and embedding risk provisions within the Public Financial Management Act to prevent fiscal shocks and safeguard assets. 6, ethical leadership and professionalism. Leadership, integrity, courage, vision, and passion were presented as the foundation of sustainable governance. The committee reflected that its own conduct sets the tone for national accountability, making ethics and professionalism a non-negotiable cornerstone of public trust. 7, artificial intelligence and technology. The auditor introduced members to the transformative role of AI in parliamentary oversight, from fraud detection and procurement monitoring to predictive budget analysis. The practical skill of prompt engineering was highlighted as a means of enabling members to extract deeper insights from AI systems, thereby improving evidence-based decision-making. 8, productivity and change management. Governance reform is inherently a process of change. Frameworks such as the ADCA and Kautar's 8-step model were shared as practical guides for managing transitions in public financial systems. Complementary productivity tools, including the Essential matrix and then the Pareto principles and the FFS methodology, were presented for enhancing the efficiency of committee work. Strategy value for the Gambia. The FPAC study tour has direct institutional and policy implications for the Gambia's governance system. The lessons learned: it fully embraced, can modernize parliamentary oversight, improve fiscal discipline, and close the enforcement gap that often undermines accountability. More importantly, the tour reinforced that Parliament must not only scrutinize, but also proactively seek reforms in financial governance. On conclusion, the delegation concludes that enhancing the architecture of the Gambia's public fiscal financial management is both urgent and achievable. The story affirms that capacity building is not a one-off exercise, but a continuous process requiring institutional commitment. The committee therefore recommends: 1. Amending standing orders to separate FPAC into finance and PAC. 2. Establishing an independent office of special prosecutor. And 3. Creating a project appraisal unit within the Ministry of Finance. 4. Embedding mandatory risk management in the PFM Act. And 5. Institutionalizing continuous capacity building in the IPESS, AI, and ethical leadership. Finally, the study tour to Ghana was more than an academic exercise. It was a blueprint for engineering the tools of parliamentary oversight to meet the demands of the modern democracy. By applying these lessons with diligence and integrity, EFA can elevate the National Assembly's role as guardians of public pursuit and custodian of the national interest. On introduction, Honorable Speaker, in line with its mandate under standing orders of the National Assembly.
Honorable, I think you will have to summarize on the other ones.
Yeah, that's the part I will hear.
Yeah.
The introduction part. In line with the National Assembly orders of the National Assembly to safeguard transparency, accountability, the prudent management of the public finance, the FPAC and Public Accounts Committee undertook a comprehensive capacity building study tour, as highlighted. This initiative was made possible through the generous sponsorship of Central Bank of the Gambia, a clear demonstration of the institutional commitment to empowering the legislature in the discharge of its constitutional ideas. This report therefore stands not only as record of the study tour's proceeding, but also as distillation of key lessons, insights, and practices acquired. It concludes with strategic recommendations aimed at fortifying fiscal governance and further enhancing the National Assembly's capacity to serve the Republic of the Gambia with diligence and integrity. The objectives of the study to enhance the capacity of the FPAC members in prudent financial management and oversight, improve understanding of the financial statement and related analytical tools, and strengthen skills in budgeting, forecasting, and corporate finance decision-making, promote ethical leadership, professionalism, and effective risk management, explore the use of artificial intelligence in parliamentary decision-making, enhance productivity and change management skills within parliamentary operations. Honorable Speaker, on detailed account proceeding and findings, we signed the opening ceremony. The next is the module and key findings. The training covered the following critical modules in the detail: financial management and literacy, to financial analysis and decision making, 3, understanding financial statements, and 4, budgeting and forecasting and investment, 5, risk management and financial controls, 6, strategic financial leadership and professionalism, 7, artificial intelligence in decision making, 8, productivity and change management. To conclude, Honorable Speaker, drawing upon the extensive knowledge and evidence-based practices acquired during the study tour, the committee is firmly convinced that a strategic enhancement of the Gambia's public financial management architecture is both urgent and indispensable. Such reforms are essential to guarantee greater accountability, transparency, and value for money in the use of public resources. In this spirit, and mindful of its constitutional duty to safeguard the public pursuit, the Finance and Public Account Committee respectively submits the following recommendations for the honest consideration of the National Assembly. 1, on committee structure, the National Assembly, through the appropriate mechanism, amends its relevant standing orders to separate the combined Finance and Public Accounts Committee into 2 specialized standing committees: Finance Committee, chaired by a member from the ruling party, to review the governance annual estimate and other spending proposal before implementation, and B, Public Accounts Committee, part, chaired by the member from the opposition, with a mandate to review the government audited accounts and reports from the National Audit Office after the fact. This separation of the functions aims to strengthen the independence of the scrutiny and improve overall accountability without unduly restricting the executive's ability to propose and execute its budget. On recommendation 2, on enforcement of the recommendation that the government, in consultation with the National Assembly, establish an independent office of the special prosecutor. This office should be empowered with the requisite legal authority, operational autonomy, and resources to investigate and, where evidence exists, prosecute cases of financial malfeasance and corruption arising from the findings of the parliamentary inquiries and reports of the National Audit Office. This is crucial to addressing the current enforcement deficit and ensuring that the Assembly's resolutions are implemented, as well as that financial impropriety carries tangible consequences. On recommendation 3, on direct accountability mechanism, a new accountability framework be instituted where accounting officers, as the permanent secretaries and heads of department of all ministries, departments, and agencies are made directly responsible for the preparation and integrity of their institution's financial statements and are held personally accountable for them before the relevant committee of the National Assembly. Consequently, the role of the Accountant General Department will evolve to focus on the technical consolidation of these individual accounts into whole of government financial statements for final scrutiny and assurance. On recommendation 4, on budgetary transparency and clarity, that the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs be directed to clearly define, disaggregate, and itemize the specific components constituting development expenditure within all future budget documents and fiscal reports. Furthermore, the ministry must provide an explicit and detailed explanation of the term consumption of fixed assets to ascertain whether it aligns with the standard accounting concept of depreciation or denotes another form of expense, thereby ensuring accurate interpretation of the nation's true fiscal position and investment levels by legislators and the public. 5, on public investment appraisal, a dedicated and technically proficient project appraisal unit be established within the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. This unit should be mandated to conduct rigorous, independent, and mandatory technical, economic, and financial evaluations, including analysis of the net present value, return on investment, and socio-economic impact. That is, all major public investment projects before they are presented to the National Assembly for funding approval. This is an essential safeguard against wasteful spending and unsustainable debt assumption. On institutional risk management, recommendation 6, that the Public Financial Management Act be reviewed and amended to explicitly mandate all public institutions to establish, maintain, and regularly update functional and integrated risk management framework. This framework must include the maintenance of a dynamic organizational risk register, the implementation of the strong internal controls, and the provision of effective risk oversight by governing bodies, thereby embedding a culture of risk awareness and proactive management across the entire public sector. And finally, on recommendation 7, on institutionalized capacity building, that a program of continuous specialized training in international public sector accounting standards, advanced financial statement analysis, application of artificial intelligence in oversight, and ethical leadership be developed. funded, and institutional for all honorable members of the National Assembly. Priority for such training should be given to members serving on the Finance Committee, the Public Accounts Committee, and other related oversight committees to ensure a deep and sustained level of expertise within the legislature. The members comprise members and support staff, Honorable Alhaji Dabo, Chairperson, Honorable Sidi Eskinjai, member, Honorable Fatou Cha, member, Honorable Musa Cha, member, Honorable Cheba Lam Fofana, member, Honorable Cheba Tuman Sana, member, Honorable Suleiman Jame, member, Honorable Lamin Sise, corporate member, Mr. Abdullah B. Cham, subject matter specialist, Dr. Ali Fall, subject matter specialist, Mr. Buba Emi Jata, Deputy Clerk Finance, Mr. Marabi Esaida, Director of Committee, Mr. Ibrahim Lamin E. Mane, Principal Committee Clerk, Ms. Sarata Bojang, Assistant Senior Committee Clerk, Ms. Isaac Sonko, Committee Clerk, and Mr. Atikan Diba, representing Central Bank of the Gambia. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Chairperson of ECPAC. Honorable members, may I, before I call for any member to second the motion, may I now acknowledge the presence of the Governor of the Central Bank and his staff. And on behalf of both sides of Parliament, we want to thank him and the Central Bank for sponsoring this worthy program in Ghana. That's empowering FPAC Committee of the National Assembly to be able to effectively do their oversight function. Governor, to you and staff, we are most grateful. From the recommendations that we are just giving, you will see the importance of this trip. It will have a very positive impact on the National Assembly. So, Governor, thank you very much. We are grateful. Any honorable member who may now want to second the motion? You have the list, Ali. Honorable member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also wish to join you to thank the chairperson of FPAC, as well as all the members of FPAC for having undergone such a capacity building training. I think it is very important that the capacity of members are built to meet the standards required in order to be able to perform oversight on government institutions. But Honorable Speaker, whilst I also join you to thank the Central Bank of the Gambia, who had facilitated this capacity building training, I will also want to observe that since FPAC is entirely responsible for performing oversight on this institution, it is important for FPAC to be funded entirely by the National Assembly. This is because there is a saying, he who pays the piper calls for the tune. We are responsible, entirely responsible of performing oversight on this particular institution. Yes, it is important that they support and collaborate with us so as to enhance the capacity of members, but I am encouraging that such trainings and such capacity buildings be entirely funded by the National Assembly. Going through the report, Honorable Speaker, in their recommendations, the recommendation number 1, financial management and literacy. According to the report, Honorable Speaker, this fundamental module establishes that the ultimate objective of public financial management is to effect a tangible improvement in the standard of living of citizens. This is a very key recommendation. And I will encourage all honorable members to make sure that whatever it takes to have financial knowledge as far as members of FPAC is concerned, we try to do all what it takes to make sure we support them. Because if you are there to scrutinize government audited accounts, it is important you have knowledge on finance and accountability, because it's very important. That is why always when we are setting up committees, it is important to set them based on merits so that it will serve the purpose for which they were set up. Honorable Speaker, with those simple remarks, I just want to say thank you, and I want to second the motion. Thank you.
Yeah, honorable member, we must be very careful. Almost all ministries support their line committees in terms of workshops, conferences, building their capacities. Building capacity is not about oversight on the institution. So I think we not mix those two areas. Otherwise, it will impact on all institutions. And we are the administrators. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly study tour to the Republic of Ghana from the 16th to the 29th of July 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member may now take the floor if you so want to do so. I have a list of honorable members. And as usual, remember we have a limited time and we want at least everybody to participate. I don't want to give time, but at least summarize what you want to say and avoid repetition, knowing that some other people are coming after you. I now call upon the honorable member for Brikama South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think I will do as expected to summarize it. I want to register my appreciation to the chair and the entire committee that embarked on this important training, and also the Central Bank for their foresight in order to facilitate this training in Ghana. Is extremely very important. Honorable Speaker, I will just go straight to the recommendation. Recommendation 1, that is talking about the coupling of FPAC into Finance Committee, that's supposed to be chaired by the ruling party member in order to look at spending and the implementation. And the other one, Public Account Committee, that need to be chaired by the opposition to look at the government accounts. I think this is extremely important, and in fact, we need the standing order to be amended in order to bring these two committees into play. It's also very important to look at the first one, that is talking about spending proposals and implementation. That is the Finance Committee. You look at one of the recommendations that is talking about we need to plan based on our National Development Plan. And I know the National Development Plan is also disaggregated into the 23 MDAs, whereby their sector blueprint directly deal with what the content of the National Development Plan. So it's also very important for us to emphasize this thing. But I think in all the recommendation, what I was not seeing, the direct engagement with the executive, because this is very important. When you come to the budget bilateral, what is our role? We are always at the tail end when it is submitted. MDS go in for bilateral and the proposal goes straight to them. So that engagement should really help us in order to decouple these two committees, the FPAC into two committees that can really function. The other one will look at the spending and the implementation. The other one will look at after spending, the audited financial statement. I think this is apt. Recommendation 2, that is talking about in consultation with the National Assembly, establish an independent office for the special prosecutor. I think this is very, very important. Like still now, the involvement of the executive is important. This also attracts budgetary allocations as far as this office is concerned. And he has a lot of responsibilities that are here. So definitely, I think that one needs to be concluded after the adoption of the report. I think the report should go to the executive. We come out with a resolution and discuss with them. Honorable Speaker, I also want to talk about the accountability mechanism framework that institute where accounting officers, that is the permanent secretaries and all the accounting officers, for them to be accountable about whatever transpired in terms of budget disbursement. This is also very important. And finally, I will look at the introduction of the AI component and technology. And this also needs capital investment. It's important for us to introduce AI into our oversight. I think this will help a lot. Sometimes, in fact, as far as our parliament is concerned, the process is very tedious and we find it very difficult, sometimes without parliamentary aids, so we have to do the research on our own. But with the investment of AI, that will enable us to at least fast track everything in regards to the findings. Honorable Speaker, I will stop here and allow others to come to other recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Brikama South. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kiang West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chairperson, Minority Leader, and Member for Brikama North. Thank you very much. I want to thank the committee for the faith and trust they've placed in me to opt me as a member of Public Enterprises Committee to join the trip. And I also want to thank the Central Bank of the Gambia through the Director of Finance and the Governor, because I said Director of Finance because he was with the team, and he has guided very well, and he ensured that this training does not include an item of political lens used by anybody, and we maintain that professionalism. However, Honorable Speaker, I just want to make few recommendations to the National Assembly and to the Central Bank to invest in Finance and Public Accounts Committee. If we refuse to invest in this committee, it is risk for the country. It's this committee that performs oversight, financial oversight on all the government accounts. And of course, not excluding Public Enterprises Committee. Because public enterprises, state-owned enterprises account for more than 40% of our GDP. So the committee performing oversight on that institution must be strengthened. Their capacities must be built to ensure that they perform a strong oversight on this institution. When we look at budgeting, number 4, if you go through that paragraph, you would understand the importance of budgeting. The focusing its impacts on our economy. If we look at the deficit of our budget, year in, year out, it is only forcing us to take more loans with interest rates. And the institution that is responsible for looking at those budgets is the National Assembly. Promulgation of budget as the law lies entirely on the hands of the National Assembly. So the capacity of that building must be built to perform a strong oversight, to look at the budget to be aligned to the programs, and to also have an institution house either within the Central Bank of the Gambia or the Ministry of Finance to perform monitoring and evaluation on the budgets aligned with our programs, to see how well our budget has performed. This was the query of the members of the parliament. When minister reports on the budget execution for the quarter one or the quarter two, previously which we have recently done on last Monday, midterm budget report. When we look at this, we could not align these budget executions to our programs. How do they impact the life of the people? And that is the main purpose of the budget. So I think National Assembly, our capacity must be built to ensure that we understand the language of the budget. We understand the language of the finance. Certain things, you don't have to be an accountant. You don't have to be a chartered accountant to know those basic things, to hold institutions to account, to perform oversight. But it can only be done through training, continuous training. And National Assembly must put attention to that, to build the capacity of this institution. And to say, my honorable colleague, my very own friend, just to remind you, the institution that just reported on, you have talked about the Hajj Commission. Those packages also come through ministry, through Hajj commissions, to the National Assembly members, and we are still performing oversight on that institution. It's all the same. So I don't think there is no much problem with it. So, but this is the little that I want to add, to recommend to the National Assembly Office of the Clerk and to the Central Bank. I want to say thank you very much, and for the trust you have coopted me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, honorable member. Honorable members. Thank you very much, honorable member for Kiang West. I now invite the honorable member for Pony Kansala.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I will not spend much time in this. Thanking the committee through the minority leader, FPAC, and the general membership. And also, I will also thank the FPAC committee for generally copying our member of PEC. And the knowledge that he has also learned will also be very beneficiary to FPAC committee. And also thank the central bank through the governor and all its line departments for really doing a wonderful job. And if you look at the key insightful areas that they have planned through, I think it's noble and it's an add-up to the committee. And I will also put it to the governor that we also look at certain statements also in 14-owned enterprises. We will also seek your benevolence in making sure PEG is also part of this, and I think it's enormous, especially the artificial intelligence. We are in an era of technology, and globally, AI is taking our financial institutions. So I believe equipping these two institutions will also be very beneficiary. And again, also, I support, finally, in the recommendation of the coupling two institutes, Finance Committee and also Public Account Committee. I think it will decongest a heavy load to FPAC. And I think this should be looked into, and not only being a recommendation, minority leader and the chairman of FPAC, please can you note this, and also propose a date and time for us to work amicably to work on the standing orders as quick as possible. On that note, I thank you, and I appreciate your journey to Ghana. and also a replica for PEC committee to be also part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Puni Kansala. I now invite the Honorable Member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for granting me the opportunity to also partake in this wonderful report laid before us. Honorable Speaker, I would equally join my honorable members who first spoke before me by extending thanks and felicitations to the FPAC committee for the trained capacity building that they have undergone in Ghana for 2 weeks. Honorable Speaker, the central bank governor and his team is also well recognized and then thanked for definitely funding the FPAC committee to undergo this capacity building training. One of their recommendations, Honorable Speaker, as a committee, that is the decoupling of the FPAC committee to 2 committees, is a well laudable initiation. And I would definitely join them, Honorable Speaker, to absolutely recommend that the Assembly to sit as soon as possible and look into the standing orders so that we can accommodate this recommendation. Honorable Speaker, by doing that, it will bring efficiency in accountability. By going through their recommendations, number 7, which talks about artificial intelligence. Okay, this was one of the modules they have learned. Number 7, module number 7, artificial intelligence and technology. Honorable Speaker, that is very important for them to learn about AI as a committee. In fact, the whole National Assembly should be privileged to have a training on AI. Honorable Speaker, AI is a record breaker in the era of technology now. Absolutely. So if FPAC is availed the opportunity to have a module training on AI in accountability, definitely I thank you, Central Bank Governor, and your team. But hopefully, I will also go against my honorable member who said institutions that are under the purview of scrutiny by this National Assembly should not give fundings or assistance for capacity building for committees. Honorable Speaker, as you have just mentioned earlier, then it would have been good for us to forego all the trainings and workshops that we are doing up to date. I cannot agree more with you, Honorable Speaker. It is very important because remember, the National Assembly is a public institution, of course. And the more fundings we put in this assembly, the public start putting eye on us. We knew that. It was very incumbent for all the National Assembly members to be given a very good vehicle to go into their constituencies. But we can remember when these vehicles were purchased, the noises and abuses words that were coming from the public. And this has derailed the opportunity of the National Assembly to, of course, capacitate its members. Because we are now having the fear of putting funds on this National Assembly budget to be able to do our work independently and efficiently. It is caused by the public. Therefore, it is important any institution that can support the National Assembly to capacitate its members, you are highly welcome. and possibly Central Bank Governor, maybe my committee trade as a very poor committee. Maybe I will reach to you. Yes, because on the AFCTA, the trade committee is supposed to know much about the AFCTA, for which, of course, the committee is not prevailed to do. So thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara Central. Just that you have sworn to do your job without fear or favor. So I don't know when you are afraid now to do it because of what people are saying. You are going to break your own oath. Let's make sure that we do what is right. Honorable members, we are now we are out of time, but I have two more on the list. I will ask them to summarize and give them time also, because all those on the list, I want them to participate. I now want the call on the Honorable Member Punyamina Danku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, let me also join my colleague to thank the committee, the Finance and Public Account Committee, for a job well done. And I would also actually thank the Central Bank, Governor, and its management for definitely funding the FPAC. Honorable Speaker, I believe the Central Bank, they are very courageous, because if you know that I am performing oversight on you, and you have the courage to tell me, okay, you are performing oversight on me, but I will build your capacity so that you can perform better oversight on me. That is definitely, that is a serious encouragement. So Central Bank, keep it up. Honorable Speaker, before I go in the report, Central Bank, after the investigation of the petroleum saga, it is the only institution, when they receive the report from Parliament, and they acted accordingly. And they went out publicly to tell the people, we have implemented what Parliament has done. So this institution is a very courageous institution. It is the only institution so far. Pardon?
We are not hearing because of...
I said, after the Parliament adopted the report of the petroleum investigation, Central Bank, it is the only institution, after receiving the report, acted on our recommendation without delay. And they went out publicly to inform the people, we have acted. And it is a regulatory body. They are the ones that are regulating the bank. And when those banks were involved, they acted according to the parliamentary recommendation. So Central Bank, keep it up. Governor and your team, we know actually what you are doing for the country at the hindsight, but just keep it up. Honorable Speaker, on the report, on bullet point 3, is very important. He said oversight without enforcement is ineffective. The study tour underscored the importance of establishing an independent office of the special prosecutor. Honorable Speaker, I think for me, this is one of the best things the committee have learned from Ghana, if we can have that office in this country. If you looked at all our parliamentary investigations, our resolutions, our recommendations, they are saying now it is not binding. If this is not binding, at the end of the day, the parliament, we perform oversight on all institutions. If our resolutions are not binding and our recommendations, and there is no other office that will enforce this recommendation, then we have a problem as a nation. Then I believe this office, people are talking about the AI, but the special prosecutor office, wherever they are, in every country, look at them, the way they perform. You can remember when we are in Ghana, how to call it, at the Pan-African Parliament, that woman in South Africa, the special prosecutor, she is so powerful When she is coming to all institutions, they know that the strong lady is coming. So we need this type of institution to definitely enhance our oversight function. Honorable Speaker, on that note, I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku. And I invite the Honorable Member for Lower Salo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I also join my colleagues on this report that is laid before us. And Honorable Speaker, I will just also try to borrow your words to thank the governor. Though I am not part of this committee, but what the central government, central governor is doing, the central bank governor is doing in this country, most of us knows it very well. The person who says he doesn't need any favor from anybody, just to see the country first. That is him. And in fact, Honorable Speaker, members of parliament, we are first class that he served. Even these small notes that we normally even change within ourselves, that he gives pride to us. Honorable Speaker, I was checking on what he is doing, that we have to thank him. I was checking on his press conference about the resolutions of the National Assembly. You see, if executive respect parliament, this country move forward. From my 8 years experience in parliament, there are 3 people that I have identified that respect parliament. That was the former Justice Minister, Batambidu, the Finance Minister, Honorable Mamrinja, and him, Honorable Speaker. You see, if this parliament is respected and we are equipped, Honorable Speaker, we will do better, where the people, their hope lies in this national bantaba, Honorable Speaker. For helping or strengthening their capacity. I have not seen no problem on that, Honorable Speaker. Each of us or ministries normally do the same, Honorable Speaker. I am part of Foreign Affairs. The Minister of Foreign Affairs sponsored a trip to Morocco, where my member and a brother was part of it, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, the local government, the just recent report that you laid, he is part of it, and he's a beneficiary on that committee. You see, to do our work, Honorable Speaker, there's nothing that detached us from that. And to do it transparency. And I know wherever the central bank found one thing, we will deal with it, Honorable Speaker. No favor.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Rising on a point of order.
Yes.
Yes, may we hear your point of order, please?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm rising on order 29.5.
5.
No member shall impute improper motives to any other member. I am not saying that Central Bank of the Gambia should not build the capacity of members. I am saying, I am encouraging my own institution, which is the National Assembly, who approves budget for the Central Bank of the Gambia, to approve budget for themselves to be able to train their own members.
Honorable.
That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they shouldn't train us.
Honorable.
So let nobody say that I am saying that what they are doing is wrong. I'm saying no. I'm not saying what they are doing.
Honorable member, please.
What I'm saying is that National Assemblies should be able to fund themselves, to capacitate themselves. This is what I'm saying, Honorable Speaker. I submit to you.
Honorable member, I have not known you to be so much of indiscipline. I was talking to you, you are continuing to shout. Honorable member, we all heard you very clear. And you even insinuated that the hand, so far we do oversight over you, you cannot be giving us that. You said it. Let's accept what he said. We can do it. We can be in error. Let's acknowledge when we are in error. Honorable member, can you continue, please?
Honorable Speaker, let me just try to conclude my debate. You see, what the member is in bullet number 3, that's strengthening enforcement and accountability. Honorable Speaker, you see, any parliament whereby you go for accountability, but there's no enforcement, there always be a problem, Honorable Speaker. Even a state minister stands there telling us our recommendations and resolutions are not binding, Honorable Speaker. If the central bank is enhancing and giving us weapons to know what has happened, to enrich us, Honorable Speaker, I think we need to say big thanks to central bank. And on that note, Honorable Speaker, I thank you and thank the central bank officials. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Salu. Honorable members, may I now call upon the mover to respond to the issues raised and the wind of the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think, Honorable Speaker, in the executive summary, you may allow me to make reference to this quote. The program was conceived as a timely response to the complex and evolving challenges of public financial management, an increasing demand for Parliament to exercise robust, credible, and independent oversight of public resources. Like any institution, Honorable Speaker, I think with the advance of reports and resolutions FPAC have been passing through this assembly, we are all aware of these challenges. And this has become an utmost concern to each and every one. If I may recollect, the reports that we laid here, Central Bank is not among the institutions that are adversely affected. And I knew very well that during our interaction with Central Bank, they are experts in their own domain. They must have realized the weakness we are having as a committee. And these challenges are there. They are aware. And that's why they did not hesitate to come to the aid of the National Assembly to build our capacities so that effectively we can exercise our mandate. Of course, it can be very challenging to them. Building our capacity means also for us to put our eyes on them strictly and do the work. I think they have taken a decision. If it is not in the spirit of having that due diligence to ensure that proper oversight is conducted, they will not have that fit and confidence to capacitize us. On that, we have to commend the governor and the team. I've been in the assembly for this second term. I can attest to myself, we have been benefiting from numerous trainings and programs, but this is the best so far to me I have ever benefited. By now, I can tell you a work that can take me 2 weeks to complete, it can take me an hour or two to do that particular work. Or something that can take me hours to do that particular work, it can take me minutes to do that work. And that is through Central Bank of the Gambia. I said we must lay this report so that this opportunity can be given to the entire National Assembly. That's why we recommended that the National Assembly should endeavor this kind of training be given to all the members before the end of our term. That's why I insisted that we must lay this report. And even less with Central Bank, the resource persons that they provide to us, if we cannot go to Ghana, let National Assembly make sure those people come here and train us especially when we are facing our budget pressure. The budget training that we undergo, I will not recommend that we go for our usual and normal resource persons. Go for those experts. If we cannot go to Ghana, go for them. Let them come and train, take us through the budget. We will do the proper scrutiny of our budget and give the budget the best that the Gambians want. That's what we want. I think, Honorable Speaker, all the members commended the report and then thanked Central Bank, and then they noted the importance of the various recommendations, especially creation of the Special Prosecutor Office. Our problem is how to implement our reports and resolutions. Our work ends here. We do our oversight, review the audited financial statements, bring it here, adopt it to prepare our resolutions. Those who should act on it, if their hands are tied, what can we do? We've been following up, giving updates, the same old story. The solution to that is the creation of this office. That will make the work of the National Assembly very easy and productive. Honorable Speaker, with this, let me once more thank your office that gave us the opportunity to benefit from this, and then as well as the Governor of Central Bank and then the team that has seen the foresight that we need this training, and indeed we had benefited, and we want everybody to benefit from this kind of training. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chairman F. Park. Honorable Member, Chairman, I think you've said it with Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku. A weak, untrained FPAC is better for our oversight institutions, so you will not be able to be effective. But where one of them finds out that they want to sharpen that oversight thing, build your capacity to be able to see deeper into them, that's what commendation. I think the Honorable Member Punyamine Dankungu said it the same way. He said, if somebody if you are to perform oversight over, and then you are now, that person is building your capacity to be able to do effective oversight, that's what commendation. So once again, I myself, I think this is one of the best reports and one of the best outings we can have. If you can read it from the recommendations that emanate from your, and all the recommendations are key and important. So we want to thank you also. The committee has done a good job. I hope you'll be able to apply those skills. We want to thank all those who participated in the debate and those who, whatever reasons, because whatever they wanted to say had been said by others within. And once again, we want to thank the Governor of Central Bank. We very much appreciate that you are here with us, and we thank you for sponsoring this very important training program. Honorable members, let me now put the question. Be resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly, study tour to the Republic of Ghana from the 16th to the 29th of July 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Let me thank everybody, honorable members, and thank once again the Hajj Commission members and the Governor and his team from the Central Bank. I now put the question, honorable members. Be resolved that this August Assembly stand adjourned until Monday, 15 September 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stands adjourned until Monday, 15th September 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt.